Good day, everyone. I'm Tim,
And I'm Casey.
and we're here for another episode of Transcending Consciousness. So, we'll try to continue on economic topics. So, our topic for today is the stock exchange. So, previously, we know that the stock exchange has actually good intentions. It was to generate capital for small companies so that they can, function and go about with their business without borrowing money from the banks and accruing interest. And in effect, those who gave out this capital would be given dividends for their capital. So this was the initial role of the stock exchange, which was actually good because it removed the banks as a third person in lending money, and therefore the business is able to progress to expand without accruing debts from these banks. But right now, the stock exchange has heavily been influenced by the gambling economy. So it's actually now a gambling economy. Why? Because it's no longer aim to be used for capital for these small businesses to expand and go about their businesses. What happens now is these hedge fund managers, what they do is they try to buy a stock, tell others to buy a stock so that they will inflate the prices, and then when they think that they've already inflated it enough, they will sell it and will accrue huge profits, and then it will again that stock will again go down, and then some, because it's going down, so most of the common people who bought that stock will sell that, and some will sell that at a loss, and who will gain? This large hedge funds, this very professional traders. They're the one that gaining. So whether there's a boom or a bust, they are gaining money. So if you remember what's happening with GameStop, so the prices of the stocks went high because so many people were buying it. So it's an artificial ballooning of the stocks. But what led to this? Because people were trying to shorten that stock. So shorten is like a term wherein they know that GameStop is going into bankruptcy. So these professional traders, they want to even further bring that company down by trying to sell a stock that they don't own. So can you imagine selling a stock that you don't own? So I'm not that knowledgeable with these stocks, but no, because I don't want to be influenced anymore with this gambling economy. But can you see that if the initial idea was good, but it became gambling company, looking at which companies are going up, and then before it went to a downward stretch, you sell that stock so that you earn a profit. So it's just similar to gambling if you look at it that way. But I still am I'm not against investment, especially if you invest locally. But this stock market has been manipulated so much that if you're a common trader, more or less you will lose money to these large professional traders. So if you invest, for example, like, and I'm a doctor, I hear a lot of like group of doctors who pull their funds, having founding shares or common shares in a company in order to put up an hospital. That's actually good because with that you're actually investing your money for that business to grow. So there's no gambling mentality in that buying of stocks. But in the stock exchange, the Wall Street, it's heavily influenced by these people who control the ups and downs because they're earning money whether it's a boom or a bust. Because when it's a bust, they want the government to pay for them. I mean, to bail them out. So that is very unfair because we know in capitalism, capitalism and communism are two sides of the same coin. So we know already the pitfalls of communism. That if there is equal resources for all, like it's not. It should be equal opportunity, because if you give equally to all members of society, then there's no progress, because people will not have that drive to progress, because even if they work hard, they're not going to earn more. And if you see the communist company, we have that ruling government, the Communist Party, which have all the benefits of like the financial elite or the monarchy. So communist type of government will not work because of that. You still have an elite. So what about the capitalist? The capitalist is good if we follow that, no matter what happens, let the market correct itself. But what is happening? We have this continuous boom and bust, which are actually in effect done by all of this company. And then when they fail, they want the government to bail them. That is not fair, because the government does not set up stringent rules to this stocks, to this capitalism, and now when it fails, they want you to bail them out because they're too big to fail. Nobody is too big to fail. If you follow the capitalist, if you fail in that business, then you fail. You don't ask the government to bail you out, because in the first place, you want the government to not meddle in these affairs. But in a true government, the true government should set up laws and rules with this stock exchange, so that people are not taken advantage of. There's so many people taking advantage of that. And we see that the stock exchange is actually the false economy that siphons from the true economy. Because what is the stock exchange? That's making money out of money, which should not be the case. You cannot make money out of money. Because if you're making money out of money, that means you're taking that money from somewhere else. So someone who toiled for the exchange of his goods or services did not actually get his complete share, because someone from the stock exchange got a share from that wealth. So this stock exchange is a false economy, because it runs on the concept that if you have money, you can place it there and get more money without the what's the reflection of the true economy? That's the exchange of goods and services. So if it is not tied to the exchange of goods and services, this stock exchange will be bound to fail. So we have a lot of this failure in the stock market in 2008, the Great Depression, and we have now the coronavirus, which is actually a good excuse for them. But even if without the coronavirus, there would be another depression, because it's how they work. So there's a continuous boom and then there's a bust. So if we can see it like that, a true economy should not have this boom and bust. It should be stably growing, in a rate, not going up and down, because they manipulate it, because we have this up and down. So in order for us to be not affected by the stock exchanges, well, that's only my view, is that you should not invest in stocks, especially in this online stock market. It's good to buy stocks, locally, or help out in a cooperative, or if you're pulling money in order for you to set up a business, that's good, because you're accruing capital so that you don't have to lend from the banks and you get dividends after that. But if you're buying the stocks and speculating whether that stock would go up, and then when it go up, you sell it for a profit, that's gambling. You're not contributing to the economy. You are siphoning wealth from those who truly work for them.
In addition to what Tim said, you see, the stock market or the banking business, they all actually trying to use other people's money for their own personal gain. So they will invest their money to something, and then so that the income that they will generate from investing your money to others, and then that's the time that they will give a small percentage to your money. For example, 4% interest rate. So in reality, yes, these kind of people, they use our money, our hard-earned, our efforts to enrich themselves. So when you want to try the stock market, always ask yourself, do I want to join this kind of industry where deceit is very rampant, people deceiving others, okay? And so if you have that in you, if we have that aspect in us that yeah we want to take advantage of other people, then yes, maybe you can join this industry. But you see, even though the stock market has a lot of people deceiving others, I've learned that one way to improve the stock market is for you, to change yourself, okay, to follow your intuition, okay, by connecting with God or with the infinite source, following your intuition and knowing which company deserves, has potential, okay, that deserves your hard-earned money. So and then follow your intuition and use it. Invest your money by buying their stocks. That's the proper way to apply to join this stock market, not just to gain money or to gain profit and then deceive others. So when you follow your intuition, then and you really want to help others grow their business, then that's the proper way to invest in stock markets.
Yeah, so that's the proper way. It's really to invest in a small company or in a company so that you can expand without getting from the banks, and you get dividends after. So you might, me, I don't do the stock market, but if you do, I hope you just think about it. That it's actually gambling if you plan to, buy a stock with the intention of selling it. The intention is always important in spirituality. Your intention is you want to help this company because you see some promise in them. You want to work towards, expanding that company or helping it out of its dilemma. Then that's actually good. The problem is so much in the stock market is heavily influenced by this professional traders that it's sometimes very hard for you to be able to do the proper, the ethical way of investing in stocks. So I'm not dictating what you should do. You should follow whatever is within your heart. These are just ideas that we try to say within the collective consciousness of the Philippines, and it is up to you whether you want to follow it or not. So the important thing is, you listen to it, you try to see within yourself if it resonates. Do you think our message is good, or do you feel that we are not saying something correctly? That's also fine. You can, the number one rule of the universe is the law of free will. So you are free to do whatever you want, and you just have to experience the consequences of whatever choices that you make. So the money in the economy is a very difficult topic, and we might do some more videos on it in the future. It's important really that you bring spirituality to practical everyday life. You apply it in everyday life. You see, realize the humanity in all persons, and see whether your actions at home, in work, reflects this belief. So you do not segregate what is spiritual from what is practical life. Thank you.
Thank you.
And see you again next week for some other new videos.